Hi everyone. Uh, my name is Neenu. I'm a research scholar, currently pursuing my PhD at Farouk College, Kozhikode, into stream finance. Before starting the session, I welcome all the participants because I am one among you only. Currently pursuing my PhD at Farouk College. This is my fourth year of PhD and on the stream of social science only. So I thanks to ResearchMonk for conducting this interactive forum for all of us today. We can move into the session. Before that, I give a small intro about me or the experiences and all those practices that I gone through this past 4 years in my research journey. I started my PhD in 2020, and during that time, so initially my guide was insisting me to publish the articles in journals, so that I started to get into this article publication only. So during that 2 years, initial 2 years, I am publishing those articles because my guide insisting me to do that. Then after that, I realized that the article publication going for the reporting of this class. Vishnu, please note someone is texting in the comment box. Okay, so after this 2 years, so I realized that the article publication is not something that we can do with the compulsion or incision from someone. So we should develop something interesting in article publication. And nowadays, I seen this article publication. It's a platform or something that we can do for showcase ourselves, or we can market or promote ourselves in the community, research community or academia through this article publication. So I think there are different kinds of participants or different categories of participants in this session. Maybe one category of pupils or persons having no idea about this article publication, and they want to get into this publication process, so that they want this session. And second category of peoples, they already know something about the publication and they already have some kind of publication in journal, but they want to upgrade themselves into a quality or top tier journals. So they are entering into the session. And third category may be some persons already having this publications in top tier journals, and they wanted to attend the session because they want something more about this, or they want an interactive forum to communicate their experiences and insights as well. So we can take this an interactive forum, and there I will share my experiences and insights, and you can also share your experiences and insight with me also. So we can take it as an interactive session. Okay, so I'm moving to my slides only, so because we have limited time to complete all this. Then if you have any queries or doubts, you can ask any time during my presentation. No problem with us, because you can see me as and consider me as an researcher only. So I think you can able to see my presentation, isn't it?
Yeah, visible.
Oh, yeah. So today's session is about publishing in top tier journals, insights and practices. So the caption I given to this session is write what they want and do what you need. So why I should give this caption is most of the journals having some criteria to choose the publications or articles that you write. Okay, they won't choose some low quality journals or some low quality articles that we write. So most of the top tier journals having some benchmark or having some criteria to choose. So we want to write what they want, not what we need. Okay, so we have to choose something or some issues or some kind of issues that is relevant in the current realm or the scenario, and that should attract the journals or the editors of the journals. Then they will consider your articles or paper, and most probably they will get into that publication. So when we write those articles that journals want, then it will get published. So you will what it say, you will do what you need also, and you will write what the journal or editors need. So publishing in top tier journals is something that you have to write what journals need, or what journals look for, and what you want needed also. Okay, so the question is why you want to publish, or why we want to publish. So that's the question. Okay, so I already mentioned that in the initial years of my PhD, I wanted to publish my article only because my guide compelled me to publish. Okay, so the compulsion is the reason why I was publishing papers during the initial years of PhD. Okay, so the compulsion from my guide was to publish at least 2 journals in UGC care listed journals in the first year of my PhD. So during that first year of PhD, I was able to publish in uh, UGC care listed journals, that 3 or 4 publications in UGC care listed journals. So after that, during my second year of PhD, he upgraded his benchmark to Scopus index journals. So he wants to publish me in the Scopus indexed journals. So in the second year, he compelling me to publish in Scopus index journals. So I was searching what are the Scopus index journals or ABDC care listed journals, etc. Then in the second year, I am able to publish in 2 Scopus index journals. Then after this 2 years, he won't compel me to publish in any of the journals or any of the article. Then nowadays, he won't ask me what is the status of that paper, this paper, or nothing. He won't ask anything about these articles. So after this 2 years, or for the past 2 years, I am publishing. The reason behind that, I realized that this publication is something very interesting if we get into that, and it is the best opportunity or the best way that we can showcase ourselves in the research community or the academia. So in the past 2 years, I am writing most of the papers due to the reason that I want to upgrade myself, or I want to market myself in this academia. Okay, so in the initial years, I am just only wanted to publish in journals or UGC care listed journals, Scopus journals. But nowadays, I am searching for the journals which have the quality, higher quality. So the question is that what is the difference between just publishing and publishing in quality journals? So suppose if you going for an interview, if you have a publication in A, or the best option is A-star journals. If you're having a publication in A-star journal, and other candidates having publication more than 5 publication or 6 publication in UGC care listed or the peer review journals, most probably the greater chance to selection is for you, because quantity doesn't matter, quality is the matter. Okay, so even one article in A-star or A category journals, it's your quality, it's reflect your quality. So which are the top tier journals? That is the question. What do you mean by top tier journals? So top tier means which are the journals which classify or which are categorized in the top tier in terms of citations, in terms of number of publications, etc. So there are some criteria of journals that we call, these are the quality journals or top tier journals. So first one is Shimago Journal Rank, that is called SJR, that is the Shimago Journal Ranking. Okay, the second category or the second criteria is ABDC, the Australian Business Deemed Councils. So these 2 criteria determines whether a journal is a good or quality journal, whether the journal is considering as a quality journal or not. So Shimago journal ranking, it's based on the, or it is the recognized standard for identify the quartiles of a journal. So quartiles means there are 4 quartiles: Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Okay, so the higher quality or top tier journals are included in the Q1 and Q2 category. Okay, so Q1 and Q2 journals are the top tier journals, and Q3 and Q4 are the journals which are included below 50% group journals, which is less quality, which these journals are less quality and than Q1 and Q2 journals. So better you can start with the Q3 journals. Okay, so you can start with the Q3 journals, and by step you can go to Q2 and Q1. Okay, then the next category or the criteria to determine the quality of journal is that ABDC, that is Australian Business Deemed Councils. This is the journal quality list. It's based on the quality of citation, number of citations that the journal receives, number of publications that the journal produces during a year, etc. Okay, so ABDC classifies this journal into A star category, A category, B, and C. Okay, as we seen in the case of Shimago journal rank, that is Q1 and Q2 journals, here also the journals which are included in the A and A star, these are the top tier journals. Okay, then B and C are also good quality journals, but which is less quality than A star and A category journals. You can start with the C or even B category journals also. Then you can upgrade yourself to A or A star journals. For publishing in A and A star journals, it's quite stressful and it's a something lengthy process, because most of the A and A star journals, their criteria and the process of publication are something tedious. Okay, so most of the journals which are included in the ABDC journal list, that is even in the A star, A, B, or C, that's all determines its quality. To be included in the ABDC category is also, it's a sign of its quality only. So those journals which are included in the Q3 quartiles or Q4 quartiles or even in Q2 quartiles, and those journals which are included or categorized into C, B, A, or A star, you can go for this kind of journals. Okay, these two category or those journals which satisfy these two quality checks will be the best or quality journals. So whenever you search a journal for submission of your article, you should check whether this journal is included in Q1, Q2, Q3, or Q4, whether these journals are categorized into A, A star, B, or C. Okay, so before submitting your article, you should aware about this and you should check the quality of journal, and after that you should submit your paper. So these are the two criteria, and I am not a right person to talk about A star journals because I don't even have any publication in A star. I don't even submitted any paper in A star journals. My journey then now is going with A, and so I started with a B category journal. Now I send my paper to A category journal also. So I am not a right person to talk about A star journals. So I wish that I may in future I may able to get into publishing A star journals. So you can start with a C or B category journals, and we can move forward with that. Okay, then how we can check that whether a journal is included in A star, A or B or C category? You can follow this ABDC journal quality checklist are there. So you can go to that site and you can check whether a journal is included in the ABDC category or not. This is the window of Australian Business Deemed Council, and this is the platform. then you can download the ABDC journal quality list from here only. Okay, you can download the list as well, and you can check whether the journal that you are looking for is included in the ABDC list. Okay, otherwise you can do you have any journal? You can search the name here also, like International Journal of Emerging Market. Like in your stream, you can choose one journal. So this is the journal now I am searching for, whether this journal is included in the ABDC category or not. So here is the result came here. International Journal of Emerging Market is an Emerald Publishing Group journal and which is included in the B category. So the rating is B. Okay. So likewise, you can choose the journal name. You can type the journal name here, or you have any ISSN number, you can search here. And field of research, you can choose here only. And tourism or marketing, human resource, or any other stream, you can choose the field of research as well. And you can you can see the number of journals and their rating, whether it is included in the A star, A, B, or C. Likewise, you can check the journal quality, ABDC journal quality or rating. So this is the platform. You can search your article here, name of the article here on. Yeah, its literature is included in the ABDC list. These are the things. These are the field of research is included. The literature is not here. Literature is not included in the field of research here. These are the things. It's mostly about the social science research aspects only. Otherwise, you can go with the cocktails of journal, whether Q1. So it's basically for business related journals. Yeah, it is basically for social science related journals, economics related, and marketing, HRM, and finance, accounting, like that. Okay. The otherwise, the best option is whether it is included in the Q1, Q2, or Q3 journals like that. So whether you search in Google Scholar, you can type any other journals or like that. Whether you are searching for an article in the Google Scholar, something like that. So here only you can see. So this is the title of the article. Okay, then this is published in Applied Economics. It's a Taylor and Francis journal. And here only you can see that it's a Q2 journal and it is included in the A category. Its rating is A. So in the Google Scholar itself, you can see this categorization or the quality of the journal. You can check here itself. Okay, so for this, you have to get an addition for that. So I just forgot its name. Maybe your Google Scholar ID is not providing this Q2, Q1 or A category like this. The quality may be not coming in your Google Scholar. It's because some additions to be made. And yeah, thank you. Rapid journal quality check. So this is the rapid quality journal check. You can add to that. So you can see this quality of the journal. You can measure the quality of journal from here, Google Scholar itself. Okay. So from the literature and all other streams. So this is the platform. Okay. Then next, we can move into just choosing the right journal for your publication. So I am already told that I am a scholar doing my PhD in finance only. So most of the slides or most of the presentation or most of the experiences from my side is only related to this finance background. So one question is there, I think. How to add a rapid journal quality check. Okay, you can You can search it in the Google Rapid Journal Quality Check. Then you can add to this your Chrome, web Chrome. I already added to my Chrome, that's just showing that remove from Chrome. So you can just Google Rapid Quality Journal Check and you can add to your Chrome, then it will be reflected in your Chrome search. Okay. So choosing the right journal for your publication. So it's better to having a list of journals in your stream of research based on that their quality only. So you can create a list of journals in your stream. And you should categorize the journals into based on this top tier like Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and this A star, A, B, and C. So based on some criteria, you can classify the journals, and based on this categorization, your personal categorization, you can choose some right journal for your publication. So before writing or before completing your paper, it is better to having some benchmark journal for submitting your paper. So I suggest two ways. The one way is that you can prepare your manuscript, and after the completion of manuscript, you can choose a journal for that. Otherwise, the initial stage itself, you have to, or you can choose a right journals, and based on the criteria of that journal, you can prepare your manuscript. Both these ways having some limitations as well as some kind of good quality also. So when you have choose the right journals or the benchmark journals before starting to write a manuscript, and you are starting to write the manuscript based on the criteria of that journal only, it's like look like what we are designing a dress, and after designing the dress, we are choosing the right person to wear that dress. Or the other thing is that we are already chosen a person, and after that, based on the measurement of that person, we are designing a dress. So both the situation having some good quality as well as some bad quality, or the limitation as well. So in the first stage, if you choose the right journals or some kind of journals, and you are preparing your manuscript based on this criteria or the based on the instructions of that journal, then if you are after submitting your paper to that journal, if it get rejected, you have to rewrite all the things once again, because the one journal instructions or the other guidelines will be different from other journals, or one publisher's instruction will be different from other publishers. So if we chosen a journal, and after choosing the journals we are writing a paper, it means that the criteria or the manuscript will be already designed for that journals only. So most of the journals having this word limit, as well as the structure of abstract, the structure of content, the referencing style, all of that. So after preparing the manuscript and submitting to a journal, if it gets rejected, you should rewrite all the things. Then the second way is that you write a manuscript. After completing writing, you have to choose a journal, and you will submit a paper to that journals only. And the thing is that if we are searching for the journal after completing your work, it may not be asked for some journals, it may be asked for some other journals, etc. So both the situations or both the ways having, you can choose a better which is better for you. But the thing is that you have to choose a right destination for your work. It's based on the quality in your research area. In your research stream, you have to choose the best quality journals. Okay. So how to choose a right journal? That is the question. So first of all, you have to get familiar with the journals you want to submit it to, or you have to familiar with the journals in your research stream. Okay, so it's good to have an idea about choose your target journal before started to write your paper. So then you can tailor your writing to that journal's requirement, or the quality of the journal, and it will definitely increase the chance of acceptance. Some like bibliometric papers, you can see that it's based on the bibliometric analysis of article published in this XYZ journals. So the authors already decided this article should be submitted to that XYZ journal, so that they are doing a bibliometric analysis of that journal only. Okay, so it will be increase the chance of acceptance, but definitely the article, whatever be the article that you write, it should be in the right quality. Then only it will get accepted. Then, in addition, as you go through the guidelines, you will see many of the journal only accept specific format of articles, and most of the journals having some kind of word limit and other restrictions. So, it is better to get familiar with the most of the journals or higher quality journals in your stream of research, and you can create a checklist or short list of that journals, and you can choose the journals based on the area of your manuscript or the issue that is dealing with within your manuscript, or the quality of your manuscript or article. Based on that, you can choose. Okay, then after selecting some journals, you should read some of the article published in that journal. Okay, then only you will get an idea of what is the quality of that papers, or what is the new issue that the journals look for, or what is the aim and scope that or most of the that the journal look for, etc. So you can read some of the article that is already published in that journal, and so that you can get an idea about how the manuscript of yours look like to be. Okay, then build a short list. After being familiar with the journals, you can create your own short list. Okay, it's maybe based on the quality, as already I mentioned, or the short list can be made based on this area of research, or it's based on some kind of other criteria also. So first you have to decide, understand the audience. You can choose the multidisciplinary journal. Multidisciplinary journals means it's a general interest, means it should be aimed at general participants. So multidisciplinary journals may be published articles in various disciplines, not specifically to finance or HRM, marketing or literature or something like that. That is multidisciplinary. But there are specialist journals which are focused in the some kind or some area or some specific subject. So you can choose whether you want to publish in a multidisciplinary journal or you want to publish in a specialist journals. Then my option is to choose for a specialist journal, or those journals which are only specifically focused in some kind of area or some specific subject only. Then the second is that you want to publish in international journals or from a national journals only. So national journals, if you are looking for a national journal, you can go with the UGC CARE listed Group 1 journals. Okay, if you go with an international journal, if you are looking for that only, you can go for Scopus, Web of Science, or ABDC listed journals. Okay, so for literature people, they don't have this ABDC category. They can choose the Scopus or Web of Science journal. So I think that you are familiar with the UGC CARE, that is Consortium for Academic and Research Ethics. That is a UGC CARE listed journals. You can see there, and there are Group 1, Group 2 journals, etc. And also they will provide this what is called predatory journals and delisted journals also. So you should be very careful about this wrong journals, that is these predatory journals. Predatory journals are those journals which are look like the quality journals only, or but it's fake journals only. So you should be very careful about that predatory journals. It should be updated in these UGC CARE list only. Then you can use the journal metrics. Journal metrics means it's a reflection of the quality of journals like impact factor and site score. Those journals which are indexed in Web of Science, they have this impact factor, and those journals which are indexed in Scopus database, they have the site score. So based on this impact factor and site score, you can choose a journal. impact factor, higher impact factor, more than 10 or 20 impact factors. So they are the higher quality journals. So be very careful about this impact factor and site score. So based on your work and your confidence, how you are confident about your work, you can choose a journal based on this only. Okay. So journal matrices, use the journal matrices and customize your journal list. Then refine your shortlist again. You can refine your shortlist again based on this aim and scope of the journals. So when you started this choosing a journal, you have a wide range of journal, maybe more than 50 journals you can find in the Scopus, Web of Science, etc. So after this journal quality matrices, all that, you can refine this journal into 20 or 25, even 15, etc. Then after this refine, you can go through this aim and scope and all the guidelines of that journal. Then it should be better to get more deeper knowledge about this, all this journal. So go through the journal policies and authors guidelines or instruction for authors. That is the next step that you should follow. So review the journal policies and procedure. What is the journal peer review policy? What is the length of review that's the journal undertaken for to get published in that journal? So what is the submission process of that journal? Does it is a fully open access journal? Maybe some of the journals is fully open access. Fully open access means they have some kind of APC, article publication charge. So you should be very careful about whether a journal is fully open access or not. Maybe some kind of journal is fully open access, then most of the journal having an option to choose the open access. Okay, so you whether when you submit your paper to that journal, you can choose if you wanted to publish in an open access or you don't want to publish in an open access. So you should be very careful about this open access policy. And does it have a submission fee? This journal is included in this Elsevier publishers or Elsevier journals. Most of the journals having the submission fee. Submission fee is non-refundable actually. So you can submit your paper after paying the submission fee. Submission fee maybe varies with the, it will be in dollars, 50 to 150, 200, $250 may they charge. And there is a chance for rejection as well. So if your articles got rejected, the submission fee will not be refunded. So if you have confidence in your paper, you can pay the submission fee and you can submit your article. So it's entirely based on your work only. So you can decide, then you can pay the submission fee as well. If it is in only $50 or $100, something like that, so you can pay the submission fee and you can send your paper. At least you will get some kind of comments from the editors. If it is a rejection, or even if it's a rejection, you will get some kind of comments from the editors. So you should be very careful about the submission fee as well, whether the journal having a submission fee or not. So submission fee is fee and article APC, article publication charge. It's different. Submission fee should be paid in the initial stage, and article processing charge is based on the whether it's published in open access or not, and it should be very higher than this submission fee. Then you should be very careful about this instruction for authors. So in this instruction for authors, the journal specify or detailed mention about what the author should do, or what are the criteria, or what are the things that author should deals with. So Emerald Group and Taylor and Francis, Elsevier, Wiley, and all these publishers having different kinds of publication policies. So before submitting your paper or before choosing the right journal, you should aware about this instruction of authors. So this Emerald Group having some kind of, so this is the International Journal of Emerging Market. So here, this is the window of that journal. This is the Emerald Publishers Journal. So here only you can see this author guidelines. Then here you can see this aim and scope. Okay, so what all things are included, or the journal, what the journals look for is included in this aim and scope. So you should read this aim and scope of journal, and after that you should read this author guidelines as well. Okay, so in other guidelines, they will specify all the things that the wording, the word limit, then how the format of the articles should be look like, and all that should be mentioned in this manuscript requirements. Okay, okay. The format is here. It is the Microsoft Word format. You should be submit your paper, and the word limit is up to 10,000. So the maximum word limit is 10,000, and there are other details. Then what is the referencing style, then what is the structure of your paper. So Emerald, those journals included in the Emerald publishers, most of the journals having this kind of structure of abstract. Then what is the number of keywords should be included, that is up to 12 keyword that you can include it. And the classification of articles, what kind of articles they accept, and figures, then are they, then tables, all this details is mentioned as author's guidelines. And also this referencing style also, you should be very careful about this referencing style. Most of the journals have their own referencing style, and it should be differ from one journals to other. Here they will accept this Emerald Howard referencing style. Likewise, there are Elsevier Howard style also. Then most of the journals having Chicago, Harvard, then American Psychological Association, like that. So you should be very careful about this referencing style. So while you are preparing a manuscript, and after you are completing your work, whether you are choosing a journal for your submission, you should make, or you should reframe your manuscript based on this journal requirements or the journal format. So whether you are not following this uh, article or journal requirements, they will reject your paper without mentioning any of the reasons why they reject your paper. So you will be very careful about this, all the guidelines and all that before submitting your work. Okay, then you can choose this journal suggester. That is, most of these authors or most of the researchers having some confusions, where should I submit my paper. So we are already completed one manuscript or article, but we having some confusion where we should submit our paper. So that you can choose, or you can look for this journal suggester or journal finder, and think, check, and submit, like that. There are different sites or website you can go through, and there you can just paste your abstract or keyword. Then that the site will suggest some of the journal, that is Taylor and Francis journal suggester will suggest those journals which are included in the Taylor and Francis publishers list. So they will suggest some of the journals which match with this your abstract. But it's not sure that the manuscript will be accepted or not. That this suggests some of the journal, and based on the quality of journal, your article, and match with this content of the journal, you can choose the right journal. But this kind of Elsevier journals finder and all that, they will suggest some of the journal that is matched with your abstract only, not with the quality of your paper, just match with your abstract or theme of your manuscript only. So if you have any confusion about where should I submit my paper, you can just go for this and you can try this only. Okay. Then structure of an article. So most of the participants may be aware about the structure of an article, all that. The structure of an article will be different from one publisher to another publisher, or one journal to another journal only. But most of the journals like Taylor and Francis, Elsevier, Wiley, Emerald, all that, they have this kind of format. That is, most of the journal having title page information. So title page information means the information which the page which include the title of your paper or manuscript, and the author's name and affiliation, and you should mention who is the corresponding author. Corresponding author means the person to whom with the journal should contact further. That means any revision or any other mails from the journal to whom the editor or the journal you should contact with. So who will be the corresponding author, you should mention that if there is more than one author. Okay. Then email address of that author. All the authors, not only the corresponding authors, all the authors, you should mention the email address. If it's available, you can mention your ORCID ID as well. Then many of the maybe some of the journals may insist to add some of the statements, statements like policy statements, like data availability statement, then conflict of interest, like that. You can then funding, if there is any funding for your article work, you can mention all these policy statements in the title page as well. Okay. Then going to the abstract. The next one is abstract. After the title page, it move with the abstract only. So abstract also, it will be different. Bhairavi Durai has raised hand. Any doubts? Okay, so the abstract, the structure of the abstract also different from one journal to another journal only. So this is the style of, or the structure of abstract of Emerald publishers. So the structure will be different from one journal to another journal, but the matters or what all things should be included in the abstract is similar. Okay, so whether it is an Elsevier or Wiley journal or Taylor and Francis, Emerald, or any kind of journal, these all things should be there. The purpose of your research, the study, or the design methodology approach that you followed, finding that you made up with, or the originality of the work, implication of your work, any limitation of your work, that should be included in the abstract. Okay, so the Emerald is classifying or structured this abstract into different categories or different stages, but all these things should be there. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this all things should be included in your abstract only. Okay. But it should be structured in different way from one journal to another journal. So this is the abstract of one paper that is in the Emerald. Okay. Emerald journal, and the abstract is classified into different categories or different stages. The entire abstract is classified into the purpose, first stage is purpose, first category, and in the second category or in the second heading, that is included in the design methodology approach. What is the methodology is followed in this article, and what are the findings that made up with the article made up with is included in the third. And the fourth, they are telling about the research limitations and the implications. What is the implication of this research? What all the participants may get insight by reading these articles, and what are the policy implication of article, etc. are included. And the originality or value. What is the originality of your article? What is the uniqueness of this paper is included in the originality and value. Maybe more than 100 or 200 papers may wrote in this theme or in this specific issue, but my paper is different from those articles because why your article is different from others, that you should mention in the originality and value. Then same way keywords, you can add 5 or 6 keywords, and it's based on this journal requirement only. Maybe some journals already they are listed these keywords, and you have to choose the keyword from their list only. Maybe some other journals having an option to write your keywords only. So it's based on the journal only to choose the keywords, and the JEL classification code as well you have to mention in the abstract. Okay, this is the abstract of, I think it's an Wiley or Elsevier journal. So their abstract is look like this. All this purpose, methodology, findings, the originality, implications, all these things are included in one paragraph. It's not categorized into different stages or different categories. Okay, so this is, but in this abstract also all the things are included. So what is this paper is dealing with, and what is the framework, or what is the methodology, and what is the finding that made up with, what is the originality or value of this work, all included in this abstract. So your abstract is the the abstract does look like a promotion. So abstract should be summarize your work in one paragraph. So it should be reflects all the things that you dealing with your paper only. So abstract is the marketing or the promotion, or it's a promoter of your work only. So you should write your abstract in a structured way, and the abstract should market your paper in the others with others only. So it should be eye-catching, and it should be then it should be reflect the quality of your work as well. So the editors will read your abstract, and they will decide whether they should move with the introduction, methodology, and all that. So the abstract should be very will be prepared in higher quality as well as in a precise manner only. Okay, then keywords. Immediately after the keywords, you can, so immediately after the abstract, you can provide the keywords. So keywords means it is used for the indexing purpose. So in Google Scholar and all that, we are typing some kind of keywords only, and those papers dealing with that keyword will be available for you. So that keyword has chosen something from your manuscript only, and the keyword should reflect your paper. So once a person typing some kind of keyword, and if it is related with your work, it should be came up with. So the keyword should be precise, and it should be up to maximum 6 or 7 keywords. It's based on your journal criteria only, and it's used for the indexing purpose, and it should reflect your manuscript or your entire work. Then classification codes are there, that is JEL classification code. So you can choose the classification code. It's based on keyword. So for example, macroeconomy. If my keyword included in the like macroeconomy, so there is some code also, JEL code also, to reflect that macroeconomy. So you should choose a JEL code based on your keyword. So this is the window of JEL classification code guide. So from here only you can choose this JEL code which is matched with your manuscript as well as your keyword. So here is the window of JEL classification code. So here you can see different classification code, and you can choose this here only. So you can choose this is the JEL classification code. So there is different classification codes are available for a different categories of a research area. So based on your research work, you can choose the classification code. Okay. Then acknowledgement and statements. So if you want to acknowledge someone or some institution, you can acknowledge these institutions or persons. And policy statements like conflict of interest, funding agencies, others contribution, and data availability, all you can mention after the abstract. Then main body will be all the journals having this main body like this six parts, like introduction, theory and literature, data availability, result and discussion, conclusion, references. Maybe it will be different with one a stream of research with other stream of research. Maybe literature people or other stream of research having different kinds of format for structuring of their articles or manuscript. This is the structure followed by social science background, economics background, like that. So introduction. So introduction, you can start with the general, from general to specific issue. Okay, so your manuscript is dealing with one issue only. So you can choose, you can start to write the introduction from a general perspective. In the first paragraph, you can write the general perspective or general outline of the issue. Then you can, then second paragraph and all that, you can paint to a specific issue, that what does the manuscript of yours deal with. Okay, so introduction should be written in like this only. So it can be written in like 4 or 5 paragraphs. The first paragraph should be the general introduction of your research. Then second paragraph should be the specific issue that the manuscript deal with. And the third paragraph should reflect the objective of your manuscript. And fourth paragraph should differentiate your work with the other work. That is the significance of your study. What is the uniqueness of your paper? And the fifth statement or paragraph, what is the structure of the upcoming structure of your paper. That is the next section deals with the theory and literature. The third section deals with the data and methodology and all that. So in the introduction, there should be the objective, the issue that is deal with, the objective of your study, and then what is the significance or contribution of your study, as well as you can mention main findings as well. Main finding of your study as well you can mention in the introduction. And these are the 4 things that should be included in your introduction. So while you are writing your introduction, it should be written in the last. Okay, so you can start writing your paper from this data and methodology, or even from the analysis part you can start writing it. Then the abstract and the introduction should be written in the last stage. Okay, the abstract is the end, and the introduction you can write before writing the abstract. So you can start with the literature review or theory, or you can start with the data and methodology, or you can start with the analysis and all that. But the introduction and abstract you should be written in the last, after writing this conclusion part as well. Okay, so do not write the abstract in the initial stage as well, because the abstract can be right in the initial stage of your research. It should be written at the last only, because abstract is the summary, or it is the crux of your article or the paper. So it should be written at the end of the manuscript writing. Then the next book part is theory and literature. So whenever you are dealing with an issue, there should be some supporting theory. Okay, this variable, when you are connecting this variable with another variable, there should be some theory, already developed theory should be there. So you should mention the theoretical background, or what is the theory dealing with the issue. And after that, you can mention this literature, that is previous studies that has already happened in this area of research. So the theoretical support should be there, and you should mention all the previous studies, and you should differentiate your work with already published articles or already published work. So you should be specify what is the uniqueness, or what is the differentiation of your work with others. And you should include the latest studies as well. Okay, you should include the latest studies, as well as if there is any base studies, you should include. So the base studies as well as latest studies, you should be included in this literature background. And the data and methodology, you should specify the data as well as the source of data. From where you got this data, you should mention this data source as well. And you should detail specify your methodology. What is the method and approaches that you should deal with for analyzing this data. And result and discussion, So result and discussion, maybe some of the authors may club this result and discussion. Some of the articles result in one section and discussion and conclusion in other section. So it's based on the journal requirements only. You can combine result and discussion in one session, or you can split into different sessions. So this after mentioning your result or findings, you should discuss your result with the in the light of finding of previous works. So many of the authors are already worked in that area, so they will came up with some kind of findings. So you should mention what all studies are supporting with your findings and what all studies are contradictory with your findings. So you should generalize your result, or you should generalize your findings with others. So that is the discussion part. It is the main part. So after the result part, you should mention this discussion part as well. So don't forget to include this discussion part. Then after that, conclusion, implication, and limitation. So conclusion is the summary of your work. Implication means what is the significance or what are the implication, practical implication of your study. And limitation, you can add the limitation of your study as well. If you are not added your limitation, the editors or the review committee will be found that limitation, and they will maybe reject your paper by mentioning that limitation. So if my study is based on the variables from India or in the Indian context only, I should mention this study is entirely based on the Indian context. It's not based on international context. So if I already mentioned that limitation, maybe with that limitation also they will go reject my paper. But you should open up, or you should be very transparent about the limitation of your work as well. Then references. There is no mismatch between the citation, in-text citation, and references that you listed. Okay, then you should match the in-text citation and the references. So include only those references which are already cited in the paper, and remove all the references which are not cited in the paper. So there should be a match between in-text citation, or those work which are cited in your paper, and the list of references. So this is the publication via process. So it's already known to you maybe. So this is the publication workflow that we are submitting to a paper, and it should be assessed by the EIC or the editor in charge. So editor in charge will assess whether this submitted manuscript is matched with these journal requirements that I already mentioned. There are order guidelines and journal policies are there. So they should match whether your manuscript is matching with those order guidelines and journal policies or not. Then if your manuscript is not matched with that other guidelines and not the journal policies, they will immediately reject your paper by mentioning that the manuscript is not prepared with the journal requirements. So you should be very careful about the journal requirements and policies. So after analyzing by EIC, it may went for the sent to the reviewers. Then reviewers, after getting the reviewers comments, the editor will be once again assess that, and they will send an email where maybe it's a desk rejection, it's a rejection or major revision or minor revision. So if they notice some kind of uniqueness or some kind of importance in your quality in your manuscript, they will give a chance for the revision. Maybe it's a major revision or it's a minor revision. You should be very happy if you get a major revision or minor revision. So it will not be a rejection, no? So you should be very happy with that. So after the revision, so they will give us some time, 2 months or 1 month time for revise your paper, and you can resubmit your paper, and they will be reassessed by the editor, and they will again send to the reviewers. Then this process will be continued till they accepted the paper or till they rejected the paper. So it can be a final rejection or final acceptance. Okay. So the rejection of article, that is the main problem that we face today. So the thing is that no journal wants to reject your paper. They want what they are looking for. So when your manuscript or the article not comply with the journal requirements or not comply with the aim and scope, not comply with the quality of the journal, they will reject it. Actually, the journals want articles, want your article, but due to some reason, they can't accept your paper. That's why we got a rejection. That we are getting the rejection from the journal. So before starting write your article, you should think about whether this paper is significant or not, whether this paper dealing with some kind of issue, very relevant issue or not, then whether this paper is having some quality to get published in that journal. So we should think about these questions only. Then if a paper having all this kind, that all this criteria, that having dealing with a specific issue, relevant issue, having some good kind of quality, then the paper will get rejected. Sorry, get accepted. Okay. So no journal wants to reject your paper. Actually, they want your paper, but because of some reason, they will get rejection. So type of rejection mails are there. So we are getting some kind of mails. So I every day I am checking my mails only. Every morning I will check, every night before my sleep I will check my mail, because I want to know whether any mail from the journal came or not. So rejection mails, there are three kind of rejection mails. One rejection mail means a rejection without mentioning a valid reason. They will send a mail by mentioning that the article you or the manuscript is rejected only, or it's not go for the reviewers, or it's not gone for having no quality to publish in the journal. Like that, they will mention, they are not mentioning any valid reason, they just send a mail that the article is rejected. But there are rejection mails that is rejection with a mentioning a valid reason. So if you are getting a rejection letter by mentioning a valid reason, you should think about the right place to submit. You can maybe they will mention the reason that it's not suitable for this journal, or it's not came that the aim and scope of journal, the issue that the manuscript deal with, it's not comes under the aim and scope of this journal. So you should recheck your paper and choose some good other journals that the area of research is matched with your manuscript only. Then rejection with good comments. There are rejection mail and they will mention what all areas that you should concentrate on. So they will provide good comments. So you should be very happy that if you're getting a rejection mail with good comments. So it reflects the quality of your work. So good comments means they will incorporate all the merits as well as the demerits of your paper. And before submitting that paper to another journal, you should read all these comments from that journal and incorporate all those comments to that your manuscript and send to another journal. Okay, so these are the type of rejection mails that me and also you may got. So why the article get rejected? That is the thing that we look for. Why my paper is getting rejected? It's I already incorporated all the things in my paper. It's a relevant issue, all that. But my paper, why my paper has got rejected? That is the issue that we are dealing with. So there are editorial reason for why your paper is getting rejected. And the main reason is that it's out, maybe out of scope of the journals. So most of the emails or most of the rejection mails mentioning that your paper is out of scope of this journal. Maybe the scope, the manuscript is also included in the scope of journals, or it's included in the aim and scope of that journal, but they are mentioning that it is out of scope of that journal. It is the reason, it is the reason most of the journals are saying. But you should be very careful about that, whether the scope of journals, for whether your manuscript is falls within the scope of journals and aim of scope of the journals only. Then not enough to have an advance or enough impact for the journal. That is the thing. That is the thing means whether your paper having some kind of quality if your paper, sorry, okay. So if your paper doesn't having enough quality, so it may not be contributing to that specific journal, so they will get a rejection mail. Okay, you will get a rejection mail. Lack of originality, significance, and novelty of your research issue, lack of proper structuring and formatting requirements, not matched with the formatting requirement of the journals, maybe the article may get rejected. The study design is flawed, that the methodology that you followed is not matched with that data, or the methodology is not suitable for your paper, and this paper will be get rejected. And difficult to follow the logic or purely presented data, and the data, the presentation of data, presentation of your analysis, like that, and not following the referencing style. Then poor language, the communication as the main issue. So the if your paper is presented or prepared in a good quality, or the good communication or good language quality, if your paper have, there is a chance for getting to read by the editors. Then violation of publication ethics, like plagiarism, the usage of AI, that is ChatGPT and all that. So if you're violating the publication ethics as well, your paper will got rejected. Then how to reduce the chance for rejection from a journal? So write something new or add something unique. So you should be very careful about the topic of your manuscript. So you should be choose some relevant issue. So there are some issues happening today. So you should be include those issues in your paper, and there should be greater chance for acceptance. So you should write something about that issue or the relevant issue. Then write in a good and simple language. So you should not add any complicated language or tricky language. You can write your paper in a simple language, but it should be presented in a good quality and good language. Then it should be write in a good communicative way. It should be having some readability, and give some concise and attractive titles for your paper. So that's the main thing. You should create a title, and you should write a title. It should be concise, but it should be attractive. So it should be attractive for the editor's point of view or the reader's point of view. Then write the abstract and conclusion in a precise and attractive way, and then incorporate good analysis or methodology. Okay, you can incorporate the recent methodologies or advanced methodologies, then there are greater chance for acceptance. And follow the journal guidelines and other guidelines, and do the proofreading before the submission, and proper referencing style should be there, referencing format should be there, and don't copy paste and plagiarism. You should remove the plagiarism and all that. And after preparing, the thing that I follow is, after preparing the manuscript, then after proofreading, I will keep my paper for a week or for a 2 week. After 1 week, I take that paper again and I read that paper. Then from that point itself, I am able to see different kinds of like formatting, like what we say, different kinds of errors in my paper only. So you keep that paper for a 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 1 month, etc., or whatever be the time being. So you can keep that paper, and after a period, you take that paper and read again. So you can find different type of errors in your paper. Then you correct all those mistakes and send it for the submission or submit to a journal. Then what you can do after getting a rejection mail? So of course it is very painful and very stressful to get a rejection from a journal. But if you're getting a rejection with good comments or good reason, you should take care of that reasons and comments from the editors or journals, and read why your article get rejected. Find the reason why your article get rejected from the journal. So you should find the reason for that rejection. First of all, you should find the reason for your rejection. Then read your paper once again. Maybe you can find that the reason mentioned by the journal is correct, or the editor is correct. This my paper is lacking this and that only. So the reason mentioned by the editors will be maybe valid. So you can read your paper once again, and you can note down all these revision comments, or what all the areas that we should revise your paper, and seek suggestion from the experts in your area as well. And before submitting to another journal, you should revise your paper, and never submit the same paper into the same journal unless you are asked to. Then no paper should be sent to the same journal if you're getting a rejection from that journal. Not submit to that journal. You can search for any other journals. So what you can do for fast publication? So actually, there is no fast publication. All the publication take their time. All the journals will take their own time. But you can do two things for their fast publication. That is, call for papers. Many. So I listed many of this call for papers here. It's from the social background only. So many of the journals will call for papers. They have a timeline to submit their paper, and you can check this call for papers. And if it came to your area of research, you can prepare the manuscript and send to that journal, and they will mention the closing time. So this is the Emerald call for papers. So they mentioned the different area of this call for papers and theme of call for papers, and the closing time as well. So it's 2025 May, April, etc. So all these are the call for papers. So you can send your paper to this journals, and they will consider it, and the time for the review will be very short. That it will be shorter than the regular issue. So you can search for the call for papers in your stream of research, and you can you can prepare the manuscript that match with that theme of the call for papers, and it will take like 6 months or 7 months, etc. But if your paper having some kind of quality, then they will be consider your paper. The next one is collaboration. Collaboration means we can collaborate with some other person, or the experts, or the person who are working in the similar area of research. And even it's your friends, your co-scholars, etc. You can collaborate yourself, and you can prepare your manuscript. Then it will be having reflecting some kind of quality of your work by dividing. Maybe I am expert in the methodology or analysis part, but maybe my friend is expert in the writing part. So we can divide the work. So it will be time consuming, as well as it's reflect or it's upgrade your quality as well. So you can share your work. So it's kind of collaboration. But when you going for a collaboration, the contribution matters. So every author should contribute something to that paper. So then there is no contribution, it's nothing like collaboration. So contribution matters for the collaboration. That like call for papers and collaboration, you can go for with the when you're going for a fast publication or some kind of easy kind of publication. So how to submit and track your work? So this I already submitted to this. I already submitted to my paper to some kind of journal. So this is the journals that already submitted to that. So I will show that you can create an account with the journal that is you are submitting with. So before the submission, you should create your profile to that journal, and after that there will be a window like submission. You can submission window will be there, and you can go for that submission window and follow the instruction that is provided by the journal, and you can submit your paper to that journal. So here only you can see that submit your paper. So for submission of your paper, first of all, you have to create an account. After that, you can log into your account, and there are different procedures or different stages for the submission. You can follow that stages, and you can submit your paper here. So after the submission, you can log into that window, and you can see what in what stage your paper is pertaining to. If it in the submission stage, that is submission created, submission incomplete, manuscript submitted with the journal administrator. This is the initial stage. After that, it go for the peer review, then out for review. It may be with the editor, and after that they will select the reviewers, and it may be out for the review. And here my status is decision pending, and decision pending means it can be a rejection, or it can be a acceptance, or it can be a revision as well. Rejection, revision, or acceptance, whatever it may be. It's went to three reviews already done. Maybe it's maybe require another revision, or it may be final rejection, or it can be a final acceptance as well. So this journal, the submission, my publication is waiting for the decision. Pending decision is pending. So this is the status. So with the different journals, this window will be different, but they will provide all the details regarding where the stage of publication is this. So you can track your paper submission with this window. Then there are some tips from my side is that the problem should be the problem that you choose for your manuscript should be relevant. That is the main thing. The main thing from my experiences, I learned that the topic or the objective of your research should be very relevant. If it is very relevant and interesting and unique, and you should get a chance for revision, at least you should get a chance for the revision. Maybe it's not firstly it's not be accepted, but you will get a chance for revision as well. The journal should consider your paper. Journal will consider your paper, and you will get a chance for the revise your paper and a resubmission. Okay, so I will show you some kind of so when you getting a revision comments, when you getting a revision comments, you should read all those comments. And 1 second. Okay. So this is the revision comments from a journal, that is International Journal of Emerging Market, for my paper. So this is the revision comments from different reviewers. So this is, I think there are 4 reviewers for this paper. 4 reviewers are there, and this mail is came with the 4 reviewers and their revision comments. So I should incorporate all these comments, and I should send back my paper. Okay, then after getting a revision comments, I will sort these comments into different like reviewers 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are 4 reviewers for this paper, and I will sort those comments into introduction, theory and review, methodology, result and discussion, and conclusion out of that. Okay, then first of all, I sort this comments. The reviewer 1 is having comments on these all parts like introduction, review, methodology, result, and he don't have any comments on discussion and conclusion. The thing is that when you classify this, sort this comments into different sessions, you can find similarity. So the contribution of my paper is, I just missed that contribution in the introduction part. The reviewer 1 and 2, 3. All these reviewers have comments on this contribution part. So I should incorporate this contribution. What is my studies contribution into? I should detailedly mention this in contribution to this my introduction. Likewise, some relevant publications are missed in my review part, so I should incorporate. So then reviewer 2 is also mentioning that after 2022, some of the papers are beyond 2022, recent works are not mentioned, so I should incorporate. So there are some similar kind of comments that is from different reviewers. So when you sorted this comments into like this table like that, you can easily track what all things are missing in your manuscript, and they can you can add these things in your paper, and you can recheck whether all these are incorporated or not. So after revising your paper, while you are submitting back to this journal, you should draft an uh, that means we want a letter. So what all these things are mentioning, what all comments are mentioning by reviewers, and what are the answers from your side, whether you're incorporated or not all those comments, or whether it's still lacking, what is the reason for that. You should draft a letter. So this is what the practice that I follow while I getting a revision comments from my journal. Okay, so the uniqueness of your study is very important. Then the title and abstract as the selling or the promotion, or it is the advertisement of your manuscript. So it should be attractive, and it should be concise. It should include all the ingredients in your manuscript. So it should be very concise, precise, as well as very attractive. The introduction, work on a funnel scope. So that I already mentioned. You can start with a general introduction, and you can comes to a specific issue of the paper, and you should mention your significance of your work or contribution of the work in the introduction part as well. And the methodology is some kind of cooking book or cookery book, and it should mention all those ingredients, what are things are included in your manuscript, or what all the data, what is the methodology that you're followed. So it should mention the study's ingredients, and the result, present your work findings without interpretation. After that, in the discussion part, you can mention the interpretation, what is the implication, interpretation, and what is the generalization of your work with the others, the supporting and contradicting studies. And discussion, be frank in acknowledging limitation as well. You should be very frank to acknowledge the limitation of the study as well. Tables and figures should self-explanatory. You should give a source of the table as well as the note for the table, what the table is telling about. You should incorporate that. So it should be self-explanatory, and reference, always go back to the original source. So while you're reading a paper, they will cite someone. So when you take some one sentence from that particular article, you should not write that author. You should go back to the original work, and you should write that original authors only. So when you're citing and referencing, you should be very careful about citing this original work only. Then authorship, if you have many more than one author, you should discuss with authors, and you should decide who will be the corresponding author, first or the second author, and all that. Then choice of journal, then define a list of target journal. I already mentioned that you can select a journal from your personal list of journals only. And there should journals may be asked for the cover letter also. You should draft a cover letter. It's an optional only, but it's very impressive to draft a cover letter while you're submitting to a journal, because the cover letter is the to convince the editors. So what is the contribution of your paper to that journal, you can mention in the convincing letter, that is the cover letter. So you should convince the editors with your importance of your work, uniqueness of your work with the cover letter. And responding to reviewers' comments, that is if you get a revision, if you're getting a revision for your work, you should take it in an positive way, and you should read and understand all these comments. Maybe more than 5 or 6 reviewers are there, 6 reviewers having different comments on your paper. So you should go with those comments, and you should understand those comments, and you should incorporate all these comments in your paper and resubmit your paper within that time limit. So they will provide a time, 1 or 2 months they will provide. If you want an extra period, you can ask for the editors, the journal editor, and you will avail extra time also. So you should incorporate all the comments. So one day you will get a acceptance letter, like your paper has been accepted for this, for X and Y journal, etc. So you should be very careful about this journal selection.